Actually, not only
Welcome back from
nationals.
the commercial break. We continue with our discussion, and there are issues which are legislative oriented that we need to be taking through, discussing together with our member of parliament. The voice of the voiceless, as his company is referred to, the Association of Migrant Workers' Voice, posed a number of concerns, genuinely, which indeed we earmark to be causing, tension among our very citizens who have taken care of some of our young girls and our young boys that have gone to search for employment opportunities abroad. We all want to have welfare, and it is all originating from when it has not gone all that favorably here. And we believe in all that, even this section of the people who have gone out of the country, they can take care of equally, like how our own are here. The rights are being taken away. And I'm a social justice advocate. It was too passionate on me that I felt, no, something needs to be done. The labor rights, and including their rights that are supposed to be safeguarded back home here, which is a long story even of having the very exported labor to remain having the rights, even for instance, to determine the leadership in the country, to vote while even they may be abroad, which is still a long way to go. We have a lot to work on, Honorable. Maybe to your also insightful submissions, we would like to see how best can we improve on this, and then how best can we streamline the programs that can answer the employment challenges.
Once again, thank you so much. And now, as we discuss this, I want to also bring one major point, 1 or 2, 3 points on the floor. One is the fact that Uganda as a country, we have countries under red flag. Countries where, as a country, we don't expect our people to go there as laborers because of diplomatic and other reasons. I can give you an example of the Kingdom of Jordan, Oman. But today, as we speak, there are thousands of Ugandans in Jordan, there are thousands of Ugandans in Oman. Yet as a country, the government has actually guided that country ABC is not safe for us. Now, that brings in the aspect of trafficking. There are hundreds, thousands of people who leave this country, go through a neighboring country, and end up the other side, especially countries where we are not free to trade with. Yet in Uganda here, almost every single day, there are almost maybe 3 or more flights to Dubai, to UAE, to Qatar. One then wonders what is not happening. But of course the onus is still on the side of government, because it's their duty. It's the duty of government to ensure that the citizens are protected. If you look at from 100% of our labor force exported, complaints are, I think, to the extent of 20.
20?
Yes.
20%?
20%. Of course, the complaints are also very major. Incidences where we've lost lives is really pathetic. Incidences where someone goes and their body organ is removed out of their will, it is really pathetic. Incidences where someone gets injured but there's no compensation, it's pathetic. But the good news is that I was doing a bit of research, and if you read about the Ministry of Emiratization in Dubai, they have come up with very good labor laws. Now, part of it clearly spells out issues of compensation, issues of leave, that a worker is entitled to leave. The challenge is The laws strictly addresses workers with the exception of the domestic workers, the house girls, which I think they could be the majority. That is the danger. So I think then as a country, the debate should be, do we carry on with this? Are we okay to have our people exploited to this extent? That should be the conversation. For the professionals, guys who go there for driving, welding, plumbing, working in construction sites, the policy is now a bit favorable. But we must push that there is a technical team, committee from government of Uganda and the other side to mediate. This is the labor force. Uganda should have the technical team this side, and whereas wherever we export the labor, must also bring their technical team, such that there's that bilateral arrangement, which must be effective. Not merely discussion, then you put on paper, on TV, then we go back and fold hands. And wait for news that so and so has died, the other one needs transport. No. This technical team must be held accountable. They must have their terms of reference clearly in black and white. There was a time when the Minister of Gender came up with a conversation. There was an idea that they would put chips on the passport of our people as they travel. Because most of our people, when they travel, the essential documents are taken away from them. The passport is withdrawn, the COVID test is certificate is withdrawn, yellow fever is withdrawn, national ID is withdrawn. So you are left there. You even fear to move.
Oh God.
So you cannot seek redress anywhere because the document.
Is that good?
It is not good. It is pathetic. That is why I am saying, government. We must push government to ensure that the welfare of our people counts better than anything else before the money. If the exporting companies cannot have means to have control over these people, we have foreign missions in this country. Why can't we have part of our technical team in these embassies, such that when our team lands there, they are charged with a duty to receive them? Why should there be a rush that the person going to employ you receives you at the airport and takes you, yet you're in a foreign country where you don't know what takes place? Why can't our country, government, have a conversation with the other government to have sufficient staff, such that if all of us have gone to the other side for work, we should be received or guided by this team, taken somewhere, and we are given briefs. Perhaps our passport and these travel documents can be best kept in our embassy.
Exactly.
And there should be direct communication that the embassy is aware that Odoi, who is now in Oman, is working in a place ABCD, such that frequently there should be a programmed way of even cross-checking. Let it be quarterly, that after every 4 months, after every 3 months, we want to know. There should be a reporting mechanism where our people, our citizens in these countries report directly to our foreign missions, so that there's that continuity. There should be strict provision, rights. People should have clear way of compensation. Part of the labor provision that these guys have put in place, the Ministry of Emiratization, stretch it to the extent that if you lose a loved one, you are given up to, I think, 60 days to come back, bury, and then go back. There are incidences where person lives here, goes the other side, under assignment by company A. When we reach there, they find another opportunity. That is also there. Now they switch from company A to company B, sometimes without the consent of company A. There is a scenario that happened. We interacted with one of the employers there, an Arab, and he showed us on a CCTV footage where his worker, after completing the work within the school, he would climb over the fence and move through the fence Like you are moving from here to say electoral commission, skipping several houses in search for better pasture.
I have a question. In this, we are able to look at all that you stated action. I do know I'm swift.
Sure.
When I'm doing what I'm doing, and even as we discuss, you are fully mandated, honorable, and maybe in any way, if at all the presentation over such matter, seeking whether for parliamentary resolution, whether it has been already made on floor, would like to maybe guarantee the viewers that either it has been done, or maybe you are going to work something.
Let me ship something on that. There has been so many conversations, even with my brother here, we had conversations. And for me, I think, whereas the ministry, we think, should come up with policies, external labor policies, but we need to come up with a bill on the floor of parliament. We need to push for an act. We need to push for an act that will then ensure that the welfare and everything about labor externalization is clearly provided for within the law.
That is the ministry. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
No, not only. I think
labor externalization covers foreign affairs, covers internal affairs, because they do the vetting. The director of CID does a recommendation, then Minister of Gender. It's not a one-stop ministry.
But did you know?
I've had issues of matters of national importance before. And this matter, by the way, doesn't need a postponement.
This was
very soon you'll be either going for recess after the election. Maybe I'm not in charge for your program, but at least I'm aware at times you go for some short breaks here and there. This needs to be taken. We could normally say heads on, and we see action, so that we go to the side of having a solution, and then as we say that something must be done.
I can report on this before you come in that the discussion has been ongoing. To the extent that now, as we speak, we have a forum, a parliamentary forum on labor export.
Yes, please.
I believe we are in the right direction. We push this on the floor, and as the 11th parliament, we now have a forum with an office here in Kingdom, Kampala, which is concerned with the welfare of labor export. So I believe it's a constructive progress, but we should push it further to enact laws specifically for this.
By your answering, you are bringing parliament in the people. That's why I'm asking on their behalf, that they can be able to hear maybe some progress being done. Thank you. Let's welcome Mr. Abdallah, please. You have something burning that would like to address as we have this discussion.
I wanted to interject on the issue he was trying to raise. The whole issue may be having a skeleton, but that skeleton needs to be filled with some fresh to form a full.
How is it lacking so that we to dress?
You see, when you talk of labor export, and then you see it only in form of seeing job brokers, then Ministry of Gender, without considering the workers' side, the so-called migrants, the ones you export, being
but in my
an
presentation
entity.
I was very clear. I said there's no.
No. I'm not challenging. I'm not challenging.
The workers being their part of the story is key, because the labor exporting companies might speak in the interest of their business.
Correct.
And I clearly said the external laborers must be given audience, so that their information is captured.
Yes.
Because they want to be biased on that.
I was driving it from that point, that yes, you commended, there should be equal representation. But is there equal representation in the monitoring and deployment?
I think
is it multi-step?
I think to what Honorable said, he said there is a progress. He accepts.
You can't have one solution that shows everything.
Allow me bring out this point.
I'm coming to you. He said that the process is not yet complete.
But what is delaying it? There is something, Doctor, I want to complete here.
Please, it's okay.
Can I inform the public that Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Internal Affairs and Gender may not be in connection as we talk right now?
is the
What I'm trying to say,
What's
you
the
find that
situation?
gender deploys Ugandans in a country where foreign affairs is, but doesn't know, is not noticed. Many of
Like
our,
which country?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia.
But we are in good working relationship with Saudi Arabia.
But no, my point goes to
We're going to
when they make a job order and they are deploying these numbers, is there any notice that goes to the foreign affairs to be in charge? Or foreign affairs wakes up in a day seeing Ugandans crying in jails, deportations, calling for rescue by the consular
I
department?
want to ask him, Mr.
Is there any connection?
There is a connection.
Let me come to you. I want to ask Mr. Budala, Honorable Bennett. My brother here has the answer, even the same time as he articulates the challenge. The good thing, you are the voice of the migrant, you are the workers' migrant voice, right? And you might be, as you are trying to address, to present the concern, there might be something that has gone wrong. I would like to just come up with the evidences of where the outcry you are, because I don't want to suffocate the very voice you are raising, where you have seen it evidently happening. And maybe having an opportunity to having the Honorable MP, we will take note of it and maybe go and see a consideration.
I want the Honorable to tell us. I didn't want to go.
Tell us, just the
Okay, let me go direct to my submission.
Yes, please.
The law is very clear that he who alleges must prove. You alleged that Minister of Gender, Internal Affairs, and Foreign Affairs.
They are not working.
They're in disconnect.
Yeah, so kindly prove that because the viewers
Of recent, you've
are very
seen
much interested.
the Minister of Foreign Internal Affairs almost crashing with gender on issues of medicals and the pre-medicals and other issues related to how to deploy and yet the law, the regulation they had clearly gives a mandate to Internal Affairs to do the screening and do ABCD. So when Internal Affairs comes out and it suggests something about these medicals, you find that gender does not or disagrees
According
and
to you,
finds it an infringement.
let me come to you. According to you, what has caused the mismatch or a gap in the policy framework? Because you are raising a pertinent issue, but I want it to come out very.
The problem, you hijack it and you kill
No,
it.
there is something I would like to establish. You've mentioned the Ministry of Labour. I'm very schematic on this. You mentioned the Ministry of Internal Affairs. You've mentioned the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I do agree the three ministries are important in this discourse. But now, what would like to come out outright and present for purpose of redress, because the issue is to see how we can address the current challenges. Or is the issue relating with the policy framework? Is it legal? Is it personal interferences? That's what we'd like to dig into.
You know, these ministries are key, plus others who are coming up now. But the key ministries are gender, foreign affairs, and internal affairs.
Yes.
If they disagree, are the workers safe? Are the labor exporters safe? They are not.
So
Automatically,
the issue of
what I want to tell you, and from the history we have, our own are suffering because Minister of Foreign Affairs has been distanced from even knowing how some of these deployments are taking place.
Honorable.
And yet, it is the father of the home. It wakes up in a day, it finds many people deployed in the country. They are blaming, calling the country, government, but the foreign affair was not noticed. I want the Honorable to clarify if he has anything.
The allegation is not backed by any empirical evidence. It's merely.
I mean, we have cases that foreign affairs denies already gender deployed.
You have made your case.
You contradict the whole thing when you say Minister of Gender is in fight with.
I did not say fight.
You said that
don't assert.
Before a company, before labor is exported here, the requirements are also very clear. One, there's need for visa. Visa issues involve foreign affairs.
No. It is the other embassy that gives it.
Embassies fall under foreign affairs. Maybe I should guide you. Then, Ministry of Internal Affairs also has a duty to vet this person. Indeed, a certificate is issued the other side. And also, there are constructive disagreements. It is not true that every disagreement actually is negative. We can disagree and then find out a solution that, no, you do like this. Now, since these ministries are distinct, there is no way that Minister of Gender will clear export without clearance from the other side. I think that brings in the issue of independence. They shouldn't be yes. Minister of Internal Affairs should independently verify. Perhaps, maybe you are saying someone was pushing for something and the other people said no. But I believe if Minister of Internal Affairs must do their work, they must be very independent without any interference from the other ministry. They should do the verification and audit of the labor before they leave. Then Minister of Gender wait for this clearance. The other thing I wanted to bring out is that there are people who leave this country and go to Dubai on visa for visitors. There are also people who go, like doctor is there, then you call me, hello, there's an opportunity here, you come. They don't go through the normal procedure of the exporting companies. Then there are people who go with education visa. So they go purposely to study. Then when they reach there, they start to look for survival. But for those who want to go for work, must strictly go with the workers visa. Okay, I've heard you, but what I'd like to leave with you, it's not your mandatory task to answer it on air. But the truth of the matter, we shall take it up that there is need for harmonization. That's true. Of where the three ministries, especially in addressing the current challenge, they are able to feed into one another. I remember there is a time when we were dealing with the NSSF law, and there was a pulling of ropes between the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Labor and Gender Development, until there was an intervention, I believe, by even, different powers, and also including your own of the Parliament, to say, no, let us harmonize. So I agree that in the process to address this, let's agree that there is a need of harmonization. It's part of, I think, some recommendation we may come up.
And on that very point.
1 minute, then I will go for the break.
Yes, on that very point, as he defends that indeed these ministries have been working together and they know where Ugandans are. Can they give us an audit? Since 2005, when they formed this regulation from the Ministry of Gender, if these ministries cannot come to a table or to join heads and give us this audit, then we cannot believe your assertion that they are really together and they are working together. That is flowery to me, who has seen people suffering, calling the Foreign Affairs, and Foreign Affairs saying we don't have a budget.
So, Mr. Abdallah, what we are going to do in this discussion, as we come up with those concerns, number one, we are not either pushing it to one person, all of us we are discussing. We will be able to identify a challenge, and even you propose what you could think can work. And in this, we'll be switching to another challenge of the unemployment we face. Because all this, as I brought this topic together, the whole source is that there is unemployment.
That's right.
And yourself, who is the voice of the migrant, you should know, I don't think you are advocating that you should have many more migrants.
No.
Do you?
No.
So what do you think should be done best to solve unemployment problem in Uganda compared to the existing problems the government has put to solve unemployment? That is your question, please.
That should be the question we should all ask now. What do we do after understanding that wherever we are crossing may be having challenges which we may not encounter right now? What do we do? A country has go back on the drawing board. One, to accept the truth that they are causing this to their own, and they shouldn't disown anyone who was falling short or disadvantaged. Like the issue of those in Dubai who are stranded, but the country or the country minister of labor comes out and say, these are trafficked people. Wherever those girls complain, they say these are trafficked, and yet when they are earning taxes or remittances from them, they don't say segregate.
Let me come back to you. Back to your country, to your fellow countrymen and countrywomen, apart from the migration, do you think there is a better solution for our youth
There is.
to have jobs here in Uganda?
One, it may be hard to get the solution I'm trying to suggest.
Yes, please.
But the best way is government to rethink about the political economic kind of status. The day government embraced globalization or took us into this free market economy is the day we ushered ourselves into this mayhem. And therefore, if government can change its economic style from the free to maybe a mixed or something command, putting people into a bit checks and not leaving it to the economists, I mean to the capitalists, then we are going to be ironing out the issue of unemployment and then the salaries. Because the other one brings in investors or many people to come into the country, and they begin exploiting or taking advantages of the nationals of the country.
Thank you.
So I think you got my point.
I've got your point.
That is one way. If we go back to the drawing board and change the whole political kind of...
Let's rethink and also
Yes, because it is affecting us all.
Okay, thank you so much.
But you said they are not feasible. Yourself, you said it might not work.
Of course, you know...
You are making a suggestion on what you yourself believe might not work. So we need a solution that can work for us as of today.
So you said we need to go to the drawing board, rethink. We have had these philosophical statements. Rethink.
I cannot, because me I don't play politics.
And they are
but if I'm to advise politically...
But you're a voice of the voiceless.
Thank you. Let's go for the commercial break. We'll be taking on our dear honorable member of parliament for the youth to give us an assurance as a policy maker that no, migration is not the best solution for our youth, and maybe give us comfort that we can do better in our country and even streamline the best way how we can do it, so that we can be known as a country that even if we go for labor externalization, we do it to our best. Please, let's come back after our commercial short break. Thank you.